oh my God, things have got really bad in here now. We're grilling rats. And I said, please don't tell me it's a rat. And he said, no, it's a guinea pig, koi. And I was like, oh, and they made me eat some anyway. So it was actually quite tasty. And I was like, yeah, I'll fatten me a couple up.
I had
Guinea pig for Christmas.
Oddly enough, the only prison I ever ate wildlife, in a sense, was an Australian one, because we had a bet going that my bodyguard could not catch 2 pigeons at once. George was known to be very fast. He was a martial arts guy. A scarecrow, really, you know. He wasn't worth sixpence in a fight, but he looked the part, and he could do matches professionally. I think it was really on. But he had a fearsome reputation. In the communal refrigerator, his name was Zachariah. Every carton of milk in there had the name Zach written onto it. So never steal Zach's milk, you'll get in trouble. Anyway, but he waited for the pigeons to come and snatch, got a hold of both of them.
Wow.
These are jailhouse pigeons, you know.
Wow.
They moved
Delicacy in
quick.
prison.
Yeah, they were a little chewy compared to some of the things I've eaten.
How were they cooked?
With the skin removed, because
difficulty. With a lighter.
Oh no, we'd stripped down a toaster and made a kind of griller out of it.
Okay. This is inside prison tricks.
Yeah. You think of the
learn
things
if you don't. You get creative.
Do you know how to make a electric kettle out of razor blades? Yeah. All you need to do is strip the wires back.
Make an element.
Yeah. Instead of an element, you hang one razor blade, the old-fashioned kind, it's like a postage stamp size, on one wire on positive and the other one on negative. Don't let them touch. Sprinkle just a grain or two of salt into your cup and lower it in there.
What's the salt do?
It makes the
it boil
conductance between the 2 elements, so you don't have to have them making any near contact to do it. In fact, the bubbles will keep them away from each other, if anything, so you're less likely to it. You know how I learned that? The stupid way. I was in some big dormitory some places, not much, was I still in teens? Not far above it. About 60 people in the dormitory. And people would be getting up with a cup and sprinkling a couple of grains into a thing and coming away with a cup of coffee. I thought, well, bunkmate, that's got to be some strong instant coffee, that stuff. Just a pinch will do it. And I came away with just boiling hot water. So I did learn that's all they had, the coffee already in the pot.
Were you guys snatching birds?
No. Not that I remember anyway.
Did anyone ever have any pets?
I had a pet. I had a cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
When I arrived in Guayaquil, there was, I remember, a German friend of mine, another Peter, had sort of started looking after this female cat, and it had become pregnant, and I ended up taking over, basically. Just started feeding it, and it came into the cell and then just started living with this little black and white cat. Became my pet cat.
Was it stuck in the compound? I mean, if it wanted to, could it get in and out of the jail?
Not really, because of the walls. I mean, there were sort of cats tended to breed in there, you know, I suppose living on the rats and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there were, most places I've been there, there's been cat population.
It was actually good having a pet.
It gave you something to feed and take care of.
Was there a happy ending for the pregnancy?
Oh, she used to get pregnant all the time, that cat. It was a little whore.
Sometimes by another
It's terrible. Honestly.
Not always.
I've never seen a cat.
What would happen with the offspring?
I used to fatten them up, but not eat them. No, I'd give them away to visitors.
To visitors?
Yeah. Try and get
So
rid of
you're
them.
constantly having to be sort of orphan manager for these cats.
But then, again, I fell out with one of the guys that was running the wing, and they took umbrage to this cat. And ended this after me having had it about 4 years, and came around with a bag one day, a sack, and said, "You have to get rid of the cat." And I said, "Well, if you want to get rid of it, you can grab her, because I'm not." And sure enough, that cat opened them up.
Opened him up?
Yeah, with the claws just went ballistic.
Its senses must have told it. These guys.
I mean, they got her and took her away, which was sad. But I said, "Don't kill her, because I'll kill you if you do." So they just took her outside of the walls and put her outside. It's probably better off.
Yeah, I guess so. The ones in Thailand were trapped by the moat. They couldn't swim over it. So they were kind of slightly the product of 200 years of incestuous breeding, I guess, amongst each other. A lot of them had very curly tails because it's good luck there.
Curly tails?
Yeah. If the end of your cat's tail is curled in, it's a lucky cat. Yeah, very big in Thailand. I asked my friend why. He said, because it hooks things in for you.
Right.
Okay.
The moat was not able to restrain David, though. He was not trapped by the moat. And if you've not seen David describe how he escaped from death row in Thailand, it is one of the most breathtaking stories we've had on the channel.
Which interview is that in?
I think it's in number 5 or...
Is it 5?
I haven't seen that yet.
I think it's in 5 because it
There's
was a
10,
long night.
and it's in number 5. The whole playlist is in the description box.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. But then again, I wasn't a cat. On the other hand, the cat
either.
wasn't facing execution either, I suppose.
Were all your visits in your cell?
Yeah. Apart from in that last prison where they stopped all that, and you had to have it in a visit room, but they had cells for conjugal visits above the visit room area. But I in the last prison I didn't have any visits. Oh yeah, I did. I had a few.
Did you manage to get conjugal visits?
In Quito, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was good actually. We basically every 2 weeks, every other week on a Saturday, you could have your any female, basically girlfriend, wife, prostitute, whoever, come in on Saturday morning, stay overnight Saturday, leave Sunday evening. So it'd be the whole weekend.
Wow.
Who did the catering for that?
Really? Because it was they'd stay in your cell with you.
Yeah. Oh, right. Oh,
yeah. So we were doing
all
all our own cooking and having food brought in at that point. This is early on. This is it. This is the good part of the sentence at the beginning, not the end.
That's a bad moment there.
So yeah.
How did you finesse that then? Where did the girlfriend come from?
I actually had a girl turn up from. Well, I was arrested in Ecuador with my girlfriend, my girlfriend at that time. Sorry.
See part 1 for that.
Yeah, but we, after she went back to England, that ended. So I ended up going out with quite a few Colombian girls, some Ecuadorians, and then we set up a tour guide of the prison based on, I don't know whether you've read Marching Powder.
Marching Powder?
Yeah. Well, we based it basically because that guy had been released, Rusty Young, whatever his name
Rusty Young, yeah.
Oh no, that was the guy that wrote it. He's the Australian. Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name.
No, I remember the guy's
Tanzanian,
name.
wasn't he?
Yeah. Lefty or something.
Oh my goodness.
So he'd been released anyway, and those visits are stopped in Bolivia or Peru or wherever he was. So we hit upon the idea, and a Scottish girl that was over studying criminology or something in Quito put up loads of flyers for us in the hostels and hotels, and it became really popular.
I can imagine.
So
what was the group composed of? Students or
there was
visitors?
a lot of backpackers. We would sometimes get groups of students coming in from. I remember a group of students from Edinburgh came in, and they'd heard about the lab getting busted in Edinburgh, and there's me. Says, "You're the same guy." I was like, "Yep." It was crazy, but we would say to them, just bring in some gifts, and I didn't smoke cigarettes, but they would invariably. I think they were allowed to bring in 2 packs of cigarettes each. So you can imagine some visit days, we'd have like 20 people, 20, 30 people turn up. And we had visits all day Wednesday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday.
So you hooked up with a Scottish lass?
No, a girl from, I can't say where, but exactly, because it might cause repercussions for her, but somewhere up north. And she stayed around for 6 months. She was a model, beautiful. And yeah, had really good times. And
so where did she stay? At a hotel or somebody's apartment?
We rented an apartment for her.
Oh, okay.
And she had a couple of friends in Quito by that point anyway. So every other weekend, she would come and stay, and yeah, it was great. Spent the Christmas with me.
Go on. Yeah. What was the procedure for entering the prison for the visitors? How many searches? Sniffer dogs?
It was pretty lax, really. This is at the one in Quito, which is now closed, the old prison. So they would turn up there. It would take ages to get in, but there'd be a long row of visits. There was a police checkpoint first of all, where they would hand in their IDs and get like a UV stamp or something, like invisible ink
That's not like I could stay there after a long weekend, is it?
No, that's it. That's it. Yeah, because that was one of the escape ideas, was get a latex face made up and somehow replicate the stamp.
Okay.
But, see what I mean? Yeah, sort of. Not really.
Well, yeah, it just seems very difficult. Wouldn't the stamp just do it in a bit of drag makeup?
Some people have got out like that, but it was But the problem is, then you're left with the body in the prison.
Yeah, who's got to answer for it?
Yeah. So there was the first checkpoint where they left their IDs. Then they come up to the prison main entrance. They'd be searched by a guard, and then come in. I don't think they were dogs, but it was pretty lax.
So if you
they could bring in shopping.
If you had a model visiting you then, where people are very desperate, did that cause envy?
Well, no, I mean, because nearly everybody had a visit come in back in those days.
Why do you suppose